Hey folks, today I'll cover an unknown game from Spain released in the year 2000, of which I do not even remember how the heck I discovered its existence. Perhaps it was when I was looking for god-themed games like Bloodborne or something. By the way, I'm talking about Resurrection, Return of the Black Dragon, developed by Nebula Entertainment and produced by Dynamic Multimedia, which I already knew for having developed some games from my childhood, like this legendary football management series. You have no idea how much time I spent on these games. Resurrection is one of those games that, as a child, you usually found in Bergen Bins, and maybe bought it because from the cover and the screenshots it seemed very cool. Well, let's imagine that I bought it, played it and finished it, and found it decidedly ugly. See, this game was developed by a very small team, probably with a very low budget, also because Dynamic Multimedia was on the verge of bankruptcy, and maybe it's a miracle that they even managed to complete it. The game is a hack and slash focused on 3 different playable characters, each one with their own signature moves and abilities. On paper, the idea is interesting, but the execution is terrible due to the stiff controls, the bad camera, the shit-hit detentions, the lack of checkpoints, the poor level design, etc. The story is also pretty simple. In the prologue, the cult of the demon god Azogaras, led by the evil Ivoges, arrives in the kingdom of Sagras. There, the deceptive cult leader offers to the old king a unique black dragon in exchange for permission to build a temple dedicated to their god in the capital. However, the dragon is an evil creature capable of feeding on souls, and thus growing to the adult stage, and then transferring the accumulated energy to the demon god, who will be able to invade our world. The king, impressed, accepts the offer, but the young prince Bertrand opposes and is charged with supervising the construction of the temple, which leads the evil Ivoges to carry out a plot to remove him without suspicion, and thus the game begins. There are in total 8 missions, in which we alternately control the 3 protagonists and sometimes choose who to impersonate. In the first, we play as the elf demon assassin Domenicus, tasked with poisoning the prince with a potion that will cause an illness that will kill him within a few days. And yes, we start playing as the bad guys. The game has no tutorial, and as Domenicus, the first thing to do is use his ability to cling to the ceiling like Spider-Man, pressing the left and the right mouse buttons at the same time. While the mission may seem focused on stealth, there's actually a lot of combat involved, and in fact the stealth approach is kinda impossible. When approaching an enemy, the controlled character enters the combat stance and auto-aims the opponent. The combat in Resurrection is based on timed attacks composed of simple combos, and parries also play an important role. Through the menu we can consult a list of controls, which shows the common moves on the left and the special moves on the right. The most useful attack of all is the double forward combo, which is the best for penetrating the enemy's defense when they're not blocking. See, enemies have a habit of blocking everything with ease, even the super move that consumes mana and is different for each character. Actually, the combat system of this game had some potential, because the enemies are not just stupid punchbags, but can actually defend themselves and give us hard time. But unfortunately the controls are freaking clunky, and the hit detentions often seem wrong, and this ruins everything. Furthermore, the AI isn't that great, and opponents often attack in turns. Each stage of the game consists of killing scattered enemies and collecting different keys that must be used to open the corresponding doors. Many times I had to go around in circles, looking for the right door to open, and kill again whoever had the new key I needed. To restore health, we'll have to collect these revitalizing potions, but sometimes it will be better not to use them right away and save them for more critical moments. The whole level design is very basic, and there's not even the possibility of jumping or swimming, as well as solving puzzles of any kind. It's really all about shallow exploration and tedious combat. And the first mission can be considered a summation of everything else in the game, because there will be no particular changes in the following. The second character we'll control is the feral kid Gau, Sorry, wrong game. The second playable character is the noble knight Gao, indeed, tasked by the king with finding a cure for the prince's mysterious illness. Gao is a fighter focused on pure combat and has no special abilities like Domenicus, but the basic structure remains the same. Kill the guy to get the key, find the right door to open, and repeat till the end of the level. In his introductory mission we'll face constructs, and also the first boss, that I found beatable only by exploiting the limited AI, that is, hitting him with a super move from the edge of the arena. See, the hit range of this thing is bullshit, it doesn't take much to kill us. Luckily the game allows to resurrect 2 times on the spot, but on the third death we'll have to start the mission all over again. In some points I would have liked having a checkpoint, like in the 6th mission. There, after the boss fight against the 4 gladiators, we have to return to the starting point, but the way back becomes full of enemies and it's easy to get killed and have to redo everything from scratch. I admit that I lowered the difficulty of the game from normal to novice, because the balance sucks, and it's not even that fun to play. By the way, the third hero is the priestess Daiko, who has the most interesting special abilities. She can become invisible and launch charged fireballs from afar, even while being concealed. But unfortunately her moveset is kinda slow, and whenever possible I prefer to play as Domenicus, who, at a certain point of the story, decides to betray Aivoges and side with the heroes. The overall length of the game is about 4 or 5 hours, with each mission taking up to 40 or 50 minutes to complete, but the whole game then feels very rushed and cheaply made, as I said before. Graphically, it's very bland, and in the various cutscenes there's even no dubbing at all. I'm not joking, here's an example. Did you see? Not even the budget for voice actors. However, I must say that the music score is appreciable, while the sound effects are rather basic. And towards the end of the game there are some tough bosses, such as the dragon who can kill us very easily, and therefore requires the right timing in attacking him, before he breathes fire. In the end, Resurrection: Return of the Black Dragon was an experience that I would define as a test of endurance for its many flaws. It took me back to those times when I instinctively bought cheap video games at newsstands, which were not included in magazines, like Independence Day, Actua Ice Hockey 2, Speedbusters, Rally Championship, Zard Burden of the Crown, and some others. Sometimes they were terrible games, other times they were classics that I loved, and Resurrection, unfortunately, is one of the terrible ones. At least in my humble opinion. With this video I wanted to inform you of its existence and flaws, and if you feel intrigued in playing it, well, I'm not stopping you. As always, a warm thanks to all viewers, and see you in the next entry.